In today's world, men are told to stay strong, to man up, to never show weakness. But what happens when that strength turns into silence? When emotional control becomes emotional suffocation? Across the 2020s, psychologists are calling it a silent crisis. Men facing unprecedented levels of depression, isolation, and suicide, yet rarely reaching out for help. In this video, we'll uncover how toxic masculinity isn't just a cultural buzzword. It's a psychological virus affecting men's brains, hearts, and identities. In psychology, there's a concept called sense-making, the same framework used in intelligence and military training. It's the process by which people interpret reality and decide how to act. For many men, sense-making has been hijacked by cultural programming. From childhood, they're taught that survival depends on emotional avoidance. Don't cry, don't talk, don't trust. This avoidance becomes the first phase, protecting them from pain, but also from intimacy. As they grow older, this instinct calcifies. Conversations become competition. Connection turns into performance. Compliance, the final phase, comes not from understanding, but exhaustion. Men learn to comply with an image, not their emotions. Just like grief, emotional suppression isn't only psychological, it's physical. When men suppress pain, cortisol levels rise, heart rate accelerates, and the immune system weakens. Studies from the World Health Organization show that men are almost 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women, yet are half as likely to seek therapy. This gap isn't a coincidence. It's the biological echo of cultural repression. The body keeps score. Every unspoken thought, every swallowed fear becomes a stored tension in the chest, in the jaw, in the nervous system. What looks like calm on the outside often hides a system in crisis. Masculinity, in its purest form, isn't toxic, it's distorted. True strength involves resilience, but toxic masculinity converts resilience into resistance. Resistance to vulnerability, to empathy, to healing. When a man loses a friend, fails in a career, or ends a relationship, his conditioning tells him to move on, not to process. But suppression doesn't erase pain, it internalizes it. Neuroscience shows that the limbic system, the emotional center of the brain, activates similarly during grief, rejection, and trauma. Yet, for men, these signals often get muted through avoidance. They're told emotions are weakness, but in truth, unacknowledged emotion is what weakens them most. We can see this psychology vividly mirrored in characters like John Wick. His entire arc reflects the trauma loop many men live in silently. Grief transmuted into action, emotion replaced with discipline, and vengeance mistaken for purpose. In military and veteran studies, this pattern is common. Soldiers returning from war often struggle to reconnect emotionally, trained for suppression, not expression. PTSD becomes not just a disorder, but a symbol of the conflict between strength and surrender. Wick's world, a place where pain is currency and silence is armor, reflects the mental battlefield men are trapped in every day. In the 2020s, data shows that male loneliness is at record highs. A global survey found that 1 in 3 men under 35 say they have no close friends. Social media amplifies this illusion. Endless images of success and stoicism, but rarely of connection. The masculine identity becomes a competition for validation instead of a community of support. This isolation doesn't just damage the psyche, it rewires it. Chronic loneliness triggers the same neurological pain centers as physical injury. Men are hurting, but they're taught not to bleed where others can see. But there's a shift happening around the world. New movements, men's therapy groups, men's circles, and vulnerability retreats are breaking centuries of silence. These spaces challenge the old sense-making model. Avoidance is replaced by acknowledgement, competition by communication, and compliance by authenticity. Here, crying isn't weakness, it's release. Discussion isn't confrontation, it's connection. The goal isn't to destroy masculinity, but to redefine it, not as control over emotion, but ownership of it. The real war for men in the 2020s isn't fought with weapons or status, it's fought in silence. Every man who hides his pain fights alone, but every man who speaks becomes part of a new resistance, not against emotion, but against the systems that made it shameful. Healing masculinity starts with permission, the permission to grieve, to cry, to ask for help, to be human. Because when men learn to feel again, they don't lose strength, they rediscover it.